Hello and welcome to the home of T-Sport Bernau. Today's video we are going to build our spare race diff. We actually carry the spare race diff on the tractor unit because the space in the trailer is so sort of crammed, and yeah, we have no space whatsoever for the spare diff, so we actually carry the spare diff on the back of the tractor unit. It is designed to be able to swap and change it with the little electric forklift that we take with the racing with us, so we'll show you how we sort of dismount it, because obviously everything we carry, it needs to be a race atmosphere working, so if we can't get it off at the circuit, there's no point taking it. So yeah, and then we'll also show you the differences between a standard diff and a race diff. So these are standard diffs, different ratios, but standard diffs. They are really heavy. I wanted to lift them out so you could see how they actually work, but basically there's 4 cogs inside, which then splits drive to one wheel or the other. With a standard open diff, it always puts drive to the wheel with the least traction. There is lockers built onto these, like diff lockers, which will actually lock the gears together, so then it becomes a lock diff. So historically in the past with the truck racing, we used to run a limited slip diff, which is always used in motorsport, but the actual cost of rebuild and maintenance on them was extortionate. So now we run this type of diff, which is a lock diff, or the Americans call it a spool diff or a billet diff or whatever. So it's a single piece metal which is petalled out for less weight, and then you can see that there's a spline inside where the half shafts go into, and then this then gives the drive. So you then have the crown wheel on this side, the pinion here, so you have the drive in, which then turns it from a sort of in drive to 90-degree out either side, which then makes the wheels go round, obviously. The standard diff, I think, is around 60 kilo. This one is 19.9 kilo, so it's a fraction of the weight. And we have speed holes. These holes aren't actually used for anything apart from making it light. Obviously, with truck racing, we don't have big fancy computers saying that this will work, so we always go small steps at a time. So the original one from many years ago when I worked for other teams, that was solid all the way around, and then we eventually started to put some petals in it to make it lighter, and then speed holes in it. So yeah, so the next job is to put the bearings on, put the crown wheel on, then we'll drop it into the diff we have off the tractor unit, which is the spare race diff. Then we'll get that built up, set the tolerance, and yeah. And that goes on there, but we'll let it cool down for a minute. We'll then warm the other side up. Once that's, I don't want to melt my special toolbox, so Yeah, we'll let it cool down and we'll come back to it. Mint. So then we've got to put the crown wheel on, then bolt it up, torque it up, but I will do that with no cameras because it's a ratio that we don't want everyone to see. So some things we have to keep private and secret, so we'll mount the crown wheel on, then once we've mounted it into the differential, we'll then set it up, which you'll probably see, and then we can mount it back on the track unit. So that's the diff finally built up, preload set. The reason why we take a spare diff is if the one on the race truck fails, at least we've got a spare one. And this is a different ratio, hence the cover, so none of our rivals can actually count the teeth on it. The reason why we take a different ratio is if we have time or if circumstances allow it, we can actually test a different ratio, see if it's faster or slower. Okay, the revs will change, but we want to see if the torque curve on the race truck suits this more or not. The last job is to put the cover on, then the back frame, bolt it all down, glue it all in, stop all the sort of water and stuff off the road going into it because it's under the track unit, then mount it to the track unit and put track unit under the trailer, connect it all up, then we'll be ready for the next race. So thanks for watching the video. We will see you at the next race. See you soon.